Pepis! Hello, how's everyone doing today? Welcome on in, and today we're going to be going up and wrapping up some fun with these little guys. Oh, and their commissar. Because, as you can see, due to an unfortunate accident, many of these little men lost their heads. We're going to help them get ahead for the fight ahead. Totally bad puns.
You're ahead of the game.
EA, it's in your ass. Also, I took my old bottle of Tamiya and I'm putting in sprue in it so I can make Tamiya thick.
Oh, by the way,
Huh?
in the time it took for you to go hot mic, I solved my 2x2 cube.
Oh, you goof.
In the time since your hot mic to now, I solved it.
My goodness, you're getting obsessed with that, you know?
It's fun to do.
I think you're obsessed with something is now my new line.
It is. You think I'm obsessed with anything I take a tangential liking to?
Fun. Since I still have all my painting supplies on my tray, we're just doing bare desk on this one. As long as I don't get any super glue on it, I think we're gonna be alright. So, I'm experimenting with a bit of a new camera angle here. Yep. That's right. I got my laundry. We got the laundry done. Got some of the linens clean too. Oh, and brrr. So basically, we have to go ahead and take all these little heads off the racks here. And we're probably going to be adding some extra accessories to these dudes. You know, so they can have things to huck at the enemy, like these little grenades and whatnot here. Maybe a canteen.
I love that you started nerding out over Warhammer stuff, because I'm sitting here like, I do that too.
You little rat bastard. This little shit is the one who got me into this.
Yep.
And they are also tangentially responsible, at least I think that's the word, for me getting an interest in any other kind of art, including trying to retexture 3D models. Oh, and since I started looking at Space Station 13, I might even start recoding some of the mobs. Because I hate myself.
Lorgans, I'm a good influence on you.
Ugh. The thing I hate to say is my mom would probably agree.
I need to meet your mom. I need to play Diablo with your dad. I still want to do that. I still really want to
Yeah,
play Diablo
but
with
with
your dad.
everything going on with Blizzard lately, I don't have much confidence in it. Toothbrush go brrr. This is basically just a toothbrush with fucking sand piston. Up. Thank you. The question is it simping if they're dating you?
I don't know.
Oh, you little shit. Alright, so let's see here. Let's start clipping the heads off. Actually, let me get an extra little bowl. Because that'll be useful. No, I'm not doing Gundam.
The painting on Gundam is also a lot less of an emphasis than the building when it comes to Gundam. I know.
Yeah, because they use
Most of the
fucking
kids-
markers.
Yeah, markers, and a lot of the kits also come just pre-colored plastic.
Oh, thanks, I hate it.
I mean, there is definitely a painting community for Gundam, and it's nowhere near as big as the painting community for, like, tabletop war games and stuff like that.
You know what the funny thing is? I'd even be tempted to just go and hang out at the store with a paint kit and paint something.
Yeah, me too.
Once things
done it.
chill out a bit.
I have literally sat in a game store painting Stormcast Eternals, my Dark Soul Stormcast. Bark.
Bork?
Bark.
How's this camera angle look for anyway? The only unfortunate thing is I can't really stream the Space Station 13 thing that I've been shenaniganizing about because not safe for Twitch. Thank you for the biddies.
Happy
Ooh,
anniversary,
holy
darling. Love you to heck.
What? It's actually been a year now that I've been dating you?
Yep.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, it did take that long to convince you to try it. T-Foxer got the 1K bits badge, apparently. Thanks, honey. So what strange and embarrassing emotes do I have to look forward to eventually, I wonder? And it's even better because those emotes are going to go towards helping you get a computer.
Yeah.
Come on, snip off the plastic, tiny head. Fuck. The ones with the little microphones are a pain.
It's been at least a year. We started dating last July at some point.
Oh, it was August.
Nope, it was July.
He's a good foxy. Oh, jeez. Oh shit! I dropped the little. I dropped my nippers.
You dropped your what?
Nippers.
For a second, I thought you said nipples.
I can't drop my nipples. They're fucking attached.
How do you know if you haven't tried?
Nope, they're attached. Can't pull them off.
You're in a volley. Do you even have nip norbs?
I don't know. I don't think a volley would have nipples. Now imagine
I don't
if
think a volley have nip norbs.
imagine if things like BC face and whatnot get good enough to the point where they can actually cover up your hands with different hands.
But what about when they finally get nipple tracking?
Well, you know, I don't really think that's the theme of my channel, hun.
You don't want to be a boob volley? Bird with boobs?
No! I'm not a tit.
You're not a blue-footed booby?
No, I'm not
Which
really a
of
booby
these?
at all.
Which of these is a real tit? The Atlantic tit, the Caspian tit, the Baltic tit, or the Mediterranean tit?
I'm too embarrassed to answer that question. The old sculpts have such bad mold lines. Those Clan Rat Skaven I had hardly any. At least it felt that way.
I'm trying to find that one video is the best BBC News blooper of all time.
Was it titties?
It's like here. Why can't I find it? There's a clip from BBC where the guy basically just goes, "Hi, I'm Jeremy Newsman, held captive for over a decade, forced to bear children." He says it like so like confidently, and I mess it up. It's just like, "Hi, this is BBC News 1. I am Jeremy Newsman, held captive for over a decade, forced to bear children."
Well, maybe he considers his broadcasts his children.
I'm trying to find it.
Hmm. Beppis. Naughty fire. Very, very naughty. Fluff all the dust away. That sounds weird when I say that. We're gonna fluff the dust away. Okay.
I actually literally wonder if BBC made YouTube take that down. Because it sounds like something BBC would do.
Well, let's be honest, the BBC isn't exactly known for a sense of humor, despite having aired Monty Python.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They just got pissed off that pornography stole their name, so...
How so?
I cannot further explain this joke on Twitch. The BBC are mad that porn stole their name.
Well, porn can keep it. Yes, Ember, are you having fun looming?
Is he looming being a fucking telephone?
We're not doing Warhammer Fantasy right now, Ember.
Record rat still.
Not in 40k.
Yes, it does.
Prove it.
Warhammer Fantasy. Warhammer.
Is he fixating over his
Actually, they aren't.
savior,
They are.
his head giver?
Ember, go admire Queef Headgiver somewhere else.
Was he talking about Skaven in 40k?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, there's literally never been anything like Skaven in 40k, even back in the old days.
Yeah, there's never been it in 40k, Ember.
Which is disappointing.
Warhammer nerd. Actually, that doesn't count.
Now, maybe you might be able to use the bits from Skaven to make a quote-unquote Imperial Guard Skaven group. People would probably fucking love it.
It's already been done. Folly go burr.
Electric toothbrush go burr. This is actually pretty effective.
Well, time to solve this game again.
The obsession. That pad's getting fucked up.
Solved.
Good grief, T-Bot.
I'm a little Rubik's gremlin.
You scram like one.
I'm buying a 4x4 next month too, and I don't mean a vehicle. I want to learn how to solve a 4x4x4. And then, if I can stomach it, maybe a 5x5x5. But there's also a chance I'd buy a 3x2x2. Which is funny because not all the sides are the same dimensions. So
Which
two of the
inevitably
ends-
means uneven colors.
two of the faces are only two, or sorry, two of the faces only have 4 squares, and the other 4 faces have 6. So the cube isn't a cube anymore, it's actually an oblong box. I don't know what you'd call it. It's a rectangle. I also intend that once I have a 4x4, I'm gonna buy a 1x1. So that whenever somebody complains to me that they can't solve a Rubik's Cube, I can hand them my 1x1 Rubik's Cube.
Well, it's not that I couldn't, it just can't be arsed.
Do you know how to solve a 1x1 Rubik's Cube? Put it on the table with white facing up.
Close enough.
That's how 1x1 works.
Basically, it's a cruel joke to tease friends.
Yeah. Be like, here, you can solve this.
Like, it takes me a bit more time with this, ironically, but the lines seem to be cleaner. And because it's padded abrasive pads. That's a mouthful. It doesn't dig too deeply into the model pieces. I think it's time to replace the pad. Not really anything happening with it anymore.
I love the description for this 1x1 on Amazon. Cube 1x1x1 is currently the hardest cube to solve. Contains one 1x1 cube you can take into puzzles to complete your collection. Safe and non-toxic, harmless to human and environment. Perfect Christmas gift / birthday gift for kids. Have fun with you, family and friends. Recommended this one to beginners who want to begin with magic cube puzzles.
You can tell someone was writing that was being spiteful.
Like how to make fun of your friends. I kind of want to give one of these as a Christmas present to somebody.
Well, that's a good way to inspire hate mail, isn't it?
Okay, we give people goofy gifts at Christmas. It's kind of like a thing. There's established precedent for giving people goofy gifts in my family.
So which family member's intelligence are you going to insult?
Given that we probably won't have a lot of people around for Christmas, I don't know. Maybe my mom.
She ain't that bad, is she?
Give her the 1x1 cube. She asked me how to solve the 2x2, and I was like, I can't just tell you, I have to show you. Well, one good thing about the 2x2 is there's only 12 possible moves in an algorithm. There's half solved. Weird flex bit.
Yeah, I hate this focus. That head's done. There's 10 of these buggers in each little container. Fox, do you think any of my existing color schemes would work on the Orcs or Stormcast, though?
I'd kind of approach them trying to make them something new, to be honest.
Might be a good idea. I guess we'll just see what inspiration takes hold. I could always do a few of them as test models and then just go ahead and strip them if I don't like them. Not to mention this is a fantasy army, so it doesn't mean that the armor isn't mass-produced.
Solved.
I have an idea. If Games Workshop wants to do more of those simpler kits that have less poses, maybe they can introduce variant boxes of the same one that just have different sculpts. Because it's easy to just go back and pose the models, maybe tweak a few things about them in their software, and then just reslice it.
It's a lot harder than that.
Also, Games Workshop has been doing some seedy things lately with the Warhammer community.
Like what?
Like, pestering, people who create Warhammer media.
I mean, to be fair, it's more the system.
Yeah, if you don't enforce your copyright evenly, you're going to... At the time when you need to, it's not going to go well for you, I guess.
Pretty much.
That, and they're trying to get those artists to go ahead and put their work up on Warhammer Plus instead, too. One thing that is good, though, is things like Flash Gits and Emperor Text-to-Speech Device are basically immune to it because parity. Parity law is beautiful.
Parity law can't protect you, typically, from big companies, though.
It's enough to keep those YouTube videos up.
Unless they decided they wanted to take it to court. Trust me, a big company will out-lawyer your lawyers, and then you'll run out of money. Why do you think Weird Al got permission to do every song parody that he's done? He got, like, permission from the original artists, which is one of the reasons he's never parodied a Michael Jackson, or not Michael Jackson, he has definitely parodied a Michael Jackson song, a Prince song, but he has parodied Michael Jackson songs. Because he got permission to do the Michael Jackson ones, and Prince turned him down to do parodies of his music.
Well, he also likes to be polite, too.
It's that, and it's also, if there was a court case, it just really would not be worth fighting, because it would just be a money war.
I think if it's a clear cut and dry thing, it doesn't really matter how much lawyer you have. Unless you're just trying to send people into the ground.
You'd be surprised. It's typically not worth it to the artist making the parody. They lose more money than they make out of it.
But Warhammer going after, like for Games Workshop going after someone like the Emperor Text-to-Speech device would cause a lot of community backlash.
Well, yeah, it would be going against Brother Abfusa. Or Alfusa. I don't remember how to pronounce that.
Like, basically, awesome. It'd be publicity suicide.
Oh, totally. But they would probably, in the long run, get more benefit out of the lawsuit than Brother Abfusa would. I'll be right back, though.
They'd lose a lot of free publicity and advertising. That's how a lot of people found 40K. Lil. To keep it in view. That's so difficult. This is so fucking tiny. I don't know why, but it sounds like it'd be fun to take one of these models and make it like the fucking Doom Marine, and I don't know why. That's another one. Another head done. Ooh. Yeah. That's good. Brew's still melting.
But yeah, on the subject of copyright, you wouldn't believe how some copyright court battles go. They go in a direction that seems so fundamentally stupid.
Well, to be honest, copyright is fundamentally stupid and broken.
Do you hear about Dark Horse, Joyful Noise, the lawsuit about those two songs?
No.
Some random Christian rap artist sued Katy Perry for copyright infringement for the song Dark Horse. So, his song Joyful Noise had an 8-note ostinato in it in the backing track. So did Katy Perry's song.
Hope they threw it out.
The two ostinatos were a single note apart. The owner of Joyful Noise won the lawsuit.
That's fucking stupid.
Want to know something funny? The
What?
exact same ostinato that Joyful Noise contains was in several songs prior to that, including one by Fats Domino.
Wouldn't it be ironic if that person came and sued them?
Fats Domino's been dead for a long time.
I know, it'd be funny though. Or whoever owns the copyright to it.
Know something even funnier? A YouTuber made a video about how outrageous this decision was.
Copyright struck by it?
He got copyright struck by Katy Perry's publisher.
When he was trying to support it.
The people who lost the court battle, thus meaning they had no legal right to the song Dark Horse, and thus could not have issued a copyright strike for it legally.
And then he contested it?
Like, if you want to know how messed up copyright is, Katy Perry's publisher lost that court battle, so technically they had no legal right to the song Dark Horse, yet they copyright struck a video defending their court position that Dark Horse should be copyrightable by them.
I bet the guy just went like, this is irony.
For putting 8 notes of Dark Horse into his video.
8 notes shouldn't be enough to get a copyright strike on YouTube. Like, how are you supposed to do musical comparisons and reviews of similarities between songs on YouTube, then?
It's dumb.
How
How do you review music? Like, come on.
Just means you have to challenge every bloody copyright claim, which would get exhausting.
I wish YouTube would stop resubscribing to people that I've unsubscribed from.
That happens.
Yeah.
Like, no, really, we're sure you'll love their content. I don't unsubscribe to things often, truthfully. I think the best thing I like about this little sander is it uses fucking double A's. Like, why do we even have anything that uses AAA? I think cleaning up the heads has got to be the biggest fucking drag in this kit. We got half of them done! Yay! Ay, 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 ay. Let's actually compare doing the knife versus the other way. There we go. Yeah, I think I like less chance to nick myself. By the way, has anyone actually made animations for the Imperial Guard tee?
What?
Has anyone actually made any narrative videos for the Imperial Guard?
I don't know. I mostly just paint.
And then watch the haha funny stuff.
I mean, some of it.
We get some Cryptid the Necrodancer running, apparently.
Fun fact, I actually refused to buy that game.
Why?
Because one of the people who worked on it is a big sack of doo-doo.
One of the important people who worked on it?
Yeah. A certain person who's on the right side of a lot of issues, but has a truth problem.
What, doesn't
And
fact
I'm
check?
gonna go no further than that.
So basically no fact checking is what you're saying.
Yeah,
But spouts it anyway.
I really don't like people like that, where it's like, yeah, I mean, like, your heart's in the right place, I guess. Like, you're on the side of the issue that I would generally agree with, but you say a lot of things that are just like flagrantly not true or dumb.
Well, to be honest, this is humanity we're talking about. The stark majority of humanity is fucking stupid. I especially think that anytime I hear someone say the phrase moral majority. More like the stick up your ass minority these days.
It was somebody involved in the big games media attack on gamers.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's like, I'll fucking punch at gamers sometimes, like, in terms of jokes, like, you know, I'll be like, haha. What?
Blam.
But there's a certain point when, you know, you're just painting everybody with the same brush, you know?
Well, you can't do that. Sometimes you need a big brush, sometimes you need a small brush, and sometimes you need that fugly fucking brush so you can dry brush.
Yeah, they were basically like, if you like any mainstream video games, you're a bad person. And I'm like, come on.
What? Here is the history of evolution. Stand here! And take him all the way over to the monkey.
Go back, I want to be monkey.
I swear that's what some of these people are like. Like,
Yeah, she
do
was
some
heavily
research.
involved in that project. And that's why I don't want to support it, because like the money goes to her. Like some portion of the money from my sale would go to her, and I just don't want to do that.
Now, it'd been better if the majority of the studio had come out and said, hey, we don't agree with this person.
I kind of literally just wish that, how do I put it? I wish people who agree with me on some really important topics wouldn't be such fucking dicks about it. 'Cause it doesn't make my side look good. I bet literally everybody feels that way, though.
Well, people like waving their dicks around, apparently. Like, you go like, can you not? There's a time and a place. This is not it. People just need to be nice to each other. Like, even though it's fucking hard sometimes, you just want to reach out and strangle people. You can't do that.
Yeah. That whole, like, gamers thing, there's so many, like, stupid people on both sides. And it's not to be like, oh, I am glorious centrist. It's just like, ugh.
Can you... Oh, you're all assholes. What?
Because, like, I don't know. Because there's these people who are like, you would never survive an Xbox lobby. And I'm like, dude, I was one of those people in there saying the awful stuff because I was a stupid teenager and didn't know better.
Now, what matters is, can you grow beyond it?
And, like, honestly, looking back, people shouldn't have been saying that stuff. I shouldn't have been saying that stuff. It's not like some slam dunk like people pretend it is to be like, you wouldn't survive a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. It's like, I would. I just realized now with hindsight that the stuff that's being said is, like, fucking shitty.
Yeah. Like, there's some classic awfulness to your average Call of Duty lobby. Let's be honest.
Like, going back and looking at it, it's a little bit funny, but, like, there was also just, like, the blatant sexism and racism. And it's like, oh, oof, ouch.
And you go like, I can't believe I was in there.
I can't believe I was stupid and had fucking edgy opinions in high school. Wow.
Well, here's the thing. You learn more as you get older. You also realize that, even though you thought it was the case, that maybe your parents weren't so stupid after all. Unless, of course, they were, but that's probably a fringe case here.
I feel really called out, though, by those posts that are like, if you were, like, super, like, gamer edgy in 2014, there is a 70% chance that you're now a fucking cat girl trans woman. And I'm like, you don't have to call me out like that. I feel attacked.
There's a lovely furry meme for that. It goes like, me at 19, a e-furry femboy. And then it shows me at 28, tired, haggard queen, dealing with e-furry femboys.
Yeah.
And then you go like, I acted like that, with disgust at thyself.
New furs. To be honest, though, like, a lot of new fur, like, most of the new furs I've met are actually, like, nothing like that. It's, you know.
It's the bad joke of cycles, growing up, things like that, realizing, boy, did I act like that?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's basically you go like, and it makes you go like, oh geez, I feel uncomfortable now. You go like, I couldn't have been that bad, could I? And then something reminds you and you go like, oh god, I was!
Oh no, I was ridiculously edgy. Thought that saying nasty, hateful things was like a joke. But serious, I like kitty girls. Like Neko girls. I'll be fully honest about that. I like big girls, pretty kitty girls, singing ditty girls.
Also, I found out that I like another band similar to the Stipendium called the Chalk Eaters.
Yeah?
Yeah, they seem pretty good.
I should send you this French band. They have an amazing singer. They do a lot of covers and original stuff. I'd say it's like half covers, half original stuff. They're called Pamplemousse.
Never heard of them.
Pamplemousse is French for grapefruit.
I made the embarrassment of had the embarrassment of accidentally confusing a Frenchman for a German.
Oh no. Those are two very different things.
And then he goes like, "Why does everyone think I'm German?"
You know what's really funny? The number of places other than France where some people speak French.
Not many.
What?
Well, how many places other than France actually speak French? I'm curious.
A fuck ton of Africa. Sweden.
Sweden has French?
There are French parts of Sweden. There are places in Sweden where you learn French as a second language.
Oh, like being stuck in Canada doing that.
Or, there are places in Sweden where you learn French as a first language. I have met somebody from Sweden who speaks French as their first language. Also, Belgium.
Yeah. I think German is also present in Belgium. Present in Belgium.
I wonder why.
Well, it's between France and Germany.
French is a beautiful language if you don't know anything about French.
The more you learn about it, the less you like having to learn more about it.
I mean, the way they gender everything can get really confusing because, like, there are some things where it's completely counterintuitive. In French, you use, what's the term? Words like and
see,
or
Lysiris.
Or the. What are those called again? Articles. You use male articles to refer to woman's body parts, and you use feminine articles to refer to a guy's wiener.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks, French. Like,
Mind fuck!
confusing as hell.
Is there even a rule that allows you to see when that's going to happen? Other than, we thought it sounded better this way.
You know what I love?
What?
So, in English, how many words mean the? 1. French. 2. Spanish. 4. German. 12.
And you go like,
Russian. None. Russians don't. The language Russian doesn't have an equivalent to the article the in English.
Ruski?
Like, Russian just flat out does not have an equivalent to that article. Some, not all, but some Russian speakers you'll notice don't use the word the as much because they don't have the equivalent in their language. Because their grammar gets structured differently.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, I'm really interested in language, and it can be really fun to kind of figure out what somebody's speaking by, or what somebody's native language is by the little slip-ups that they have in other languages.
Yeah?
Like, English speakers in speaking, like, Mandarin or Cantonese or Japanese, we don't have a concept of tone in our language, and so we pronounce things wrong because in those languages there's what's called tone, which is like the pitch that you speak at, which is supposed to change during the course of a word.
Yep, and it confuses the hell out of us Westerners.
So, like, a lot of people who are learning Japanese, what Japanese people will notice is that our pronunciation's really flat. It'd be like if somebody talked in a complete monotone voice when they were speaking English. Also, apparently the primary stereotype for Americans in Asia is that you guys put ketchup on everything.
Kind of funny. The funny thing here is I don't really use ketchup all that often. It's okay if you enjoy that kind of game, Lysiris. No one's judging you here.
I'll be legit. Okay? Okay, I'm legit. No, but seriously.
You're a freaking dork.
German is a language that I've always been kind of like tempted to learn because I've known a few people who speak it, including Grins, but it's like not just him. Like I've known so many people who speak it.
There's a lot of people on Neos who do. So you wouldn't lack for people to practice with.
Is articles are so hard in German. Like there are 12 articles for the in German. Sometimes I wonder if that's one of the reasons why Grins prefers to speak in English to us.
Well, keep in mind, Grins has a lot of friends that speak English.
True. Grins is a big sweetheart.
Oh, he is. He is absolutely adorable. By the way, he actually gave me the kit for these. In case you didn't know.
Nice. I still have to finish up the front scoop on the Plague Burst Crawler he sent me. I'll be honest, not having an airbrush is probably one of the big reasons I haven't done this yet.
Why do you think I'm not building up those Stormcast Eternals or Orcs until I get it? Yes, boop the Foxer. Boop them.
I want to get a decent, like, Iwata or Badger.
Badger or the harder and Steenbeck one? Probably a good one.
I mean, Iwata makes amazing airbrushes too. Plus, to be honest, I want to support my local game stores, and making a $300 purchase of an airbrush and a compressor from there.
Yours sells that?
Yeah.
Wow.
They sell compressors and airbrushes.
Mine doesn't.
They've got one compressor that they sell, and 3 different airbrushes.
Like, the only place I have locally that does that is Bigot Lobby.
We don't have any, like, dedicated, like, not dedicated, but, like, we don't have any hobby stores in my area that aren't specialized to a single hobby. We don't have any equivalent to Hobby Lobby here.
We also have Michael's, too, down here.
The closest we have is Michael's in my area, but Michael's is more like traditional arts and crafts. It doesn't carry as much stuff for, like, scale modeling or...
Yeah. There's actually a section where you can get the modeling stuff at Hobby Lobby.
I'm gonna be honest though, Michael's does still have good stuff for like Warhammer painting. Plenty of cool basing materials and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you can get tons of cool stuff at craft stores and dollar stores.
I also kind of want to buy a brush pen at some point, but I've never brought, like, you know, worked myself up to getting one. Brush pens are cool. Really fun for painting, like, or not painting, but, like, drawing black leather and shading it in.
This thing's pretty good at cleaning up some of these pieces on the models. I just wanted to do some final cleanup before I glue the heads on.
I still feel way too warm. I might actually go take a cold shower and then scoop myself a bowl of orange sherbet.
Sherbet?
I mean, that's how it's pronounced.
I hate
What's
it.
one thing I've never understood? How do you pronounce that word as sherbet?
You are asking the wrong person. I've just always heard it sherbet so long.
It's sherbet.
I hate it.
It's pronounced sherbet. Also, there's only one U in nuclear. Thank you very much. Don't even get me started on aluminium.
Linguistic drift is what I'm going to chalk it up to.
Aluminium.
Don't think about it too much. It'll make your head explode, Foxer.
You know what actually confuses me? The number of people who can't say chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum?
I have met so many people who cannot say chrysanthemum.
Some people think
Or
it's
aluminium.
chrysanthemum, don't they?
No, they just like stutter and stumble as they try to say chrysanthemum. They go like chrysanthemum. Aluminum. Those words always stick together in my head because of the number of people who can't pronounce aluminium. Fun fact, did you know that aluminium got called aluminum in America because of a mislabeled shipment? There was a clerical error.
That's all she wrote!
One typo, and now all of America says aluminium wrong.
Kinda funny, huh? But it gives a pretty good example of how language can shift.
If you guys insist on saying aluminum, I also insist that you say titanium.
Titanium!
Titanium.
These boys are gonna look pretty snazzy when we're done.
Titanium. That's how you should say it. Titanium.
That's not what comes to mind when you say that!
Cocainum. Are you just thinking about Arnold Schwarzenegger dumping out that fake leg and going, cocainum?
No, I was thinking tight anus. I'll spell it out.
What?
You heard me, Foxy.
I boop.
Nice gram.
Well, joke's on you, that's what I wanted. The only way to stop cursed words from coming out of your mouth is to make something else come out of it or put something into it.
Just go ahead and sand these butt cheeks.
Sandy butt cheeks.
That sounds horrid.
When you think of sandy balls,
That's an unfortunately named resort.
sandy balls.
Sandy balls.
Whenever I think of sandy balls, all I can think of
Is how he said it completely straight-faced.
no, it makes me think of somebody completely different. Lorgans, do you remember this? What's happening for him?
No.
Do you remember Ray William Johnson?
Oh, he kind of vanished, didn't he?
He's apparently a bit of a jerk.
Well, a lot of people who are kind of famous are a jerk.
If you go to the My Favorite or Your Favorite Martian YouTube channel, the other people he was working with just like rage posted like, this project is over. Like completely dismantled the page. Yeah, it's called This Project is Retired.
You know, this plastic is very responsive to sanding. Like, wow.
Oh god.
What?
A certain someone still posts, but they don't get anywhere near as much traction as they used to.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Ray William Johnson. I'm gonna go take that cold shower though.
Cold shower. It stops the horny.
It's not to stop the horny, it's to stop the fucking spontaneous combustion.
Aw. I can't have the tea leaves now bursting into flames. That would be awkward at the party, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
I am gonna say though, in Pokemon, I do want to get a Torchic and evolve it once. I want to name it Spontaneous, and then I want to evolve it once and give it a an Eviolite, and make it like tank build Combuskin, Spontaneous Combuskin.
Ah, you dork. But yeah, using an old toothbrush for a lot of this stuff is just so good.
I normally just use my housemate's toothbrushes when I need to do stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure you're full of shit when you say that and just want to say it.
No, but my my housemate's toothbrushes are.
You're
kidding.
awful.
I'm good.
Awful,
Go
Foxer.
take that shower.
Get bunked.
Bonk bonk. BRB.
I will bunk you. All right. Back. Oh, lovely.
God,
We didn't get a dog.
fucked up. Your puppy.
You saw the plush move because of the dog. Oh my.
Cat.
Because of the cat.
And I thought,
Oh
no,
my
that's
god.
why I had to go blink, blink. Oh, it's like, oh, but Christ.
That makes me giggle. Ah, da, 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 da. Lee, 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 lee. Where'd my mouse go? It ate itself. By the way, if any of you ever go to Spitfire stream, make sure to call him cute. He'll deny it up and down, but it's true. Fair enough. I can accept that point of view, no problem. After all, when people try to say no you, I always say you too. So Ember, when's Grint's gonna pin you down and make you do your Space Marines?
I don't know.
Once I get that airbrush, you won't have any more excuses! Ember has a bunch of Space Wolves he needs to work on. Which were lovingly provided to him by our friend Grintz. So he need to paint them. Oof. A lot of work for these little guys. There we go. Well, the funny thing is, if I ever have my mom visit, I'm tempted to just pass her one of these things and some of the paints and see what she does with it. I might be astonished, amazed, and appalled all in one. It would probably be amazing. Then again, she can paint things freehand that I can't really do. Then again, when you got hands that can handle a surgeon's scalpel, their tools, with a steady hand, you kinda can do some of that pretty well, I imagine. Photobukia kits. I'm not sure I understand what that is, Lysiris. Be right back, guys. Just a moment. Ah, funky. Alright, I'm back. Well, maybe I could see some of their models sometime. I've been kind of focused on Warhammer because I kind of want to play the tabletop game. That and the models are fun to paint. Sounds like a mess. Hey, Artiscar. How you doing, hun? Welcome on in. How's your evening going? Well, I hope. Yee. I know, I remember you, hun. Been a little while. Wasn't much to take off on this one. Yeah. Well, it's always good to have a nice day. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to have a nice day. Let's be honest with ourselves. Sometimes it just doesn't go the way it should for. Alright, where'd my glue go? The polystyrene is still not all melted.
Boopus? Boopity boopus?
Yep. And there's our first little guy with his head now intact.
I'll intact your head in a minute.
Getting it in focus is a fucking bastard. Just gonna use some of our not so thick. And this little wick. Okay, I'm happy with him. Who knows? I really don't know. I just really need my roommate to actually make his Space Wolves. I'm gonna harp on him about it until he does it eventually. This one aside to dry. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, head. I think I'm gonna make this guy face forward. Hello, Gradient. How you doing? Well, come on in. How it be going for you, kitty? Come on, focus. That's 2 of 10 done. Like, this one's gonna be a radio dude. You see, on this guy, he's got this little communicator and an antenna. So basically, we're gonna go ahead and put the Voxcast unit on the back of his head, on the back of his back. Give him a backpack. Let's have his head angled up just a little bit. Here's a little bit more of the non-chunky. Stick it right under his collar. Guy looks like he's stepping forward. Stinky glue. I hate it.
Are you doing the gluing?
Yep.
How's them fumes?
Doing good. I decided to do all these guys as las rifles.
Have you started seeing colors yet?
Seeing colors.
Yeah.
What, from blinking all the flashlights constantly?
From the glue.
No, I'm not snorting it. It just stinks.
It's because it's heckin' what's it called? That stuff that's in nail polish remover.
Acetone.
Acetone. There you go.
It's stimky.
You're stimky. Fucking piss chicken.
Don't go calling me that. That's not nice.
I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna throw you and see how far you can fuck that.
Oh, no Hakti Avali.
I'm gonna throw you like a beautiful, majestic paper airplane.
Help, Avali abuse. Evil.
A volley go whee! A volley go yeet.
Herb abuse.
Throw the volley gently like football.
Oh, join Discord finally? Finally?
Finestly.
The blah 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 blah.
Finest tech tips.
Alright, just read through the rules. Once you're done with that, T, myself, or any other moderator can go ahead and approve you. Alright, you already did? Good. There you go, ya bean. Also, it's not, well, not my official thing currently. I am tinkering about with Gilded currently, which has got a lot of features that I think that Discord should have. And I question why they haven't. But Discord's already starting to steal some of those ideas. And here's the next guy.
Han, what were you saying Discord needs to implement?
A lot of the different things that Gilded has done.
I think you were saying something specifically, though.
Not that I'm aware of. I'm puzzled.
Because I was gonna say, if you're talking about age verification, I think we all know why they haven't done that. I gotta get off that topic.
Well, age verification should probably be a thing.
Forums where you can discuss changes rarely give you the changes you want in any timely amount of time. Which was a very redundant statement. There was a massive petition on Twitch's own website for like suggesting changes. To put in LGBT tags, like specific ones. And it only took them like 5 years to implement it.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. Because that's kind of stupid. Let's be honest. That's why I kind of like the idea of Gilded. They're a lot more responsive, from what I understand so far, to people's inquiries for features and things like that. Little. You're welcome to try it. I've tried to set up my server on it to show off some of the features that it has. Of course, I'm still new to it and still figuring things out, but hey, that's new. Star Wars DLC. I'm confused. This guy kind of looks like he's holding it like a goddamn violin. Eh! That's kind of a happy accident.
He's putting his ear to it like he's like, last rifle told me your secrets.
Haha! He wants to listen to the machine spirit of it.
He wants to brandish his flashlight.
Tell me thy secrets, almighty flashlight.
Somebody actually, like, tallied up how strong a las rifle should technically be, though. And it should basically be a Spartan laser in terms of power.
And to think
Those
that they
things are
treat it like a
naughty.
flashlight, that's scary.
Like, las rifles are basically Spartan lasers, but they fire faster, so...
Let's be honest. Quote-unquote Master Chief would probably get destroyed in 40k.
Well, are you talking about Master Chief in the lore, or Master Chief in gameplay?
I don't know. Which do you think? Do you think both?
Well, Master Chief in gameplay would probably be very competent, considering the kind of armor that he has on. And, like, I don't know, I feel like Spartans wouldn't be, like, terrible in the 40k universe. They just wouldn't match up to their 8-foot-tall counterparts. You know?
And even the armaments of a guardsman could probably take one down.
Now, if we're talking Master Chief in the books, Master Chief in the books would be as strong as an extremely competent Space Marine. He's capable of jumping several stories in a single jump. He can survive a fall from basically any height so long as he's not hitting, like, fucking, like, entry speeds.
Okay, decided to take a journey to the floor.
He can essentially, like, rip through tanks like they're nothing. Yeah, like exactly as Lysiris said. Master Chief in the lore can yeet a Banshee.
Then again, the people of 40k often have to deal with things that are a fuck of a lot scarier.
But Lysiris, can a Spartan 4 fucking push you out of reality into a pocket dimension that contains all of your worst fears that are literally real and can actually kill you?
That's what psychers do.
There are psychers who can do that. There are Space Marine librarians who can literally just, like, push you into your own little pocket of the warp where you get killed by your own worst fears. I mean, fuck. There are Space Marines who have cut ships in half with their fucking power swords. So, we're talking, like, it would take the most competent of Jedi to be taking on, or most competent of Jedi and Sith to be taking on some of these insanely powerful librarians.
Even some of the Primaris psychers, like, of the Militarum, could probably give a lot of the Star Wars characters a run for their fucking money.
But then you look at characters like Starkiller, who can literally yank ships out of the sky, and he's not the only person who can do stuff like that. There have been a lot of insanely strong characters in Star Wars lore who have been, you know, overlooked because they're not in the main, like, movies, but you got people like Darth Revan. Like, there are Jedi who can shoot lightning.
Well, when you think about it, isn't the Force basically kind of analogous to using the fucking warp?
You can essentially channel, like, the purest forces of the light side of the Force, your desire to protect people, to create a Force lightning attack, but it was banned because people who used it ran the risk of falling to the dark side if they ever, like, wavered.
Because of aggressiveness?
Yeah, so... Who would win, the Tyranids or the Hive? The Hive from what? Oh, sorry, the Flood? Oh, Tyranids. Absolutely. Flood will only destroy the organic matter on the planet, the Tyranids will eat the planet.
They will remove anything of usefulness from a planet, leaving nothing but cold, dead rock.
Also, the Flood generally spread by stealing other people's ships and then careening them towards other planets. Well, the Tyranids literally build their own fleets.
Look, Mom, I don't need to build I don't need to steal a ship.
A Tyranid invasion can fucking clean the surface of a planet in a day.
If left unmolested, yes.
Lysiris, what you're not understanding, fundamentally, is that a Flood Spore has to get close enough to do that. And Tyranids have guns. Secondly, the moment a Tyranid got infected, all of the other ones would turn on it if there was a
Psychic Gestalt. They
if
know.
they would just instantly weed out anything.
There's a reason that the Imperium has refused to use things such as the virus bombs on Tyranids.
Like, to put it bluntly, what is the biggest thing that the Flood really summons? It's just like a big version, or like a mutated version of the enemy. Whereas, what are the Tyranids gonna bring at you? Carnifexes? Hive Tyrants? They just have bigger things, and then, you know, you could make the argument, oh, well, what if that gets infected? Well, the rest would just eat it, and then turn it into a new one, in a spawning pool.
Like, you could even say the Zerg from StarCraft would probably be able to outdo Flood as well. Then again, they're basically Tyranid light.
I really do enjoy, like, the sci-fi trope of, like, the horrible infectious parasite that spreads throughout the galaxy. And having looked at all of them, the Flood I do not feel like is the most dangerous. By far. I'd be more terrified of Tyranids. I'd be more terrified of Metroids, X-Parasites, and Phazon.
Yeah, Flood is kind of vanilla.
Like,
are you talking about Dead Space?
I'm just gonna say, Lysiris, the Flood are not actually that strong on... Like most things in Halo, they get overblown by the fans. Like, I've heard people going, oh yeah, well, maybe Earth and their friends couldn't beat the Imperium, but what about the Forerunners? And I'm like, what about the great old ones who could literally their ship into existence next to your sun, make your sun explode, and then go back to where they were? Like, if we're going to allow the strongest people to ever exist in that universe to be the people fighting, yeah, 40k still wins.
40k is batshit insane. Like, how many, like, look at all the flavors of Exterminatus.
There are billions of planets in the Imperium of Man. There are billions of planets in the Imperium of Man. Trek can't stand up to them. Star Wars can't stand up to them.
In fact, a lot of those cultures should probably just be pulled in and claimed by the Imperium.
It's just a legit fact that 40k is so ridiculous.
Alright, that's all of them. Have extra heads, damn it.
Yes, Lysiris, the Forerunners had this cool, amazing thing. Could they teleport their ship next to your sun, set your sun to explode, and then teleport away? Like, that's all I have to ask at this point. That's what the Great Old Ones could do. That's what the fucking frog dudes did.
Bruh.
You want to know what the scariest infection in all of sci-fi media is in terms of the, like, oh, horrible infection. Do you know what's scarier than any, like, scarier than Metroids, scarier than Xenomorphs, scarier than warrior insects, scarier than the Flood? Phazon. Phazon is not an organism.
It cannot be defeated like an organism.
It's a substance that creates a hive mind that seeks to spread it across the universe, consuming all other matter into more Phazon.
It's kind of funny that Retro Studios and Nintendo came up with one of the most fucked up kind of infectious things.
Lysiris, Samus defeats Dark Samus, okay? She did not prevent all Phazon from existing. There is still Phazon in Metroid. Like, in the Metroid universe. And if it ever got out, it would start a new affection and start shitting Leviathan seeds in every direction. And then...
You also have the Dead Moons from Dead Space.
I'd say Metroid takes the cake on the infectious things that could destroy the universe, or rather destroy all life in the universe, with the X-Parasites and Phazon. X-Parasites are... Out of the biological ones, I think the X-Parasite is probably the scariest, because if it touches you, you become X. It doesn't need time to take root.
It just subsumes you.
It just subsumes you.
It's like,
You are
this
now
is
X.
mine.
It's instant infection and instant breeding.
So, to give you guys an idea, this is how much is left on, say, the sprues when I'm done. We have these accessory packs. We have the radio packs, parts for flamers, bearer rifle, grenade arms, canteens, extra heads, helmets, grenades.
Lysiris, you are forgetting the most important detail in this. There is Phazon in the logo for Metroid Prime 4.
Yep, Phazon's not gone.
It's not gone. It is an element. As long as it exists anywhere in the universe, it presents a threat.
Yep. Here's the thing. If they blew up that planet, they only blew up anything tied to that planet. That's it. If another planet got completely taken over, it probably has its own thing.
The only way to get rid of Phazon is to completely you require nuclear fission. Or nuclear fusion to get rid of. You have to destroy the element itself, which is what you do in the Sky City in Metroid Prime 3. You literally drop a nuclear reactor onto the Leviathan seed to destroy all the Phazon in it.
Probably because he did something that consumed the Phazon in her.
Yeah, Phazon can actually be consumed to create energy, which is basically what she's able to do.
Hyper mode. Hence why, if you didn't blast off some of that shit, you probably were going to die.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Samus is an outlier in all of this because you have to remember that Samus is
Not fully human.
Not fully human, and also one of the biggest badasses in all of science fiction media.
So basically, Nintendo made one of the biggest badasses in science fiction, and made them a woman. And then Team Ninja tried to ruin it.
Like, let's serious. It's like saying xenomorphs aren't capable of doing insane damage to a planet and completely taking it over, because one human named Ripley was able to defeat them.
Here's the thing, just because you annihilate the threat in one place doesn't mean shit.
Exactly. Like, Samus is one of the biggest fucking badasses in science fiction. She's one of my favorite characters in science fiction. She is a badass bitch who does not give a fuck. Until Metroid Other M, we don't talk about that. we don't talk about Other M. Adam! Adam!
Like I said, Team Ninja ruined it. Blam.
Yeah, she absorbed enough X-Parasites. There's probably some amount of it in her. Though, I'm gonna say one big thing that we need to consider.
What was that?
Oh god, it just literally emptied out of my head when you said that.
Herpity-derpity-deer. Is that it?
Yeah. What?
Defects go dirt.
But yeah, Metroid's fucking awesome, and the fact it took this long to get Metroid Prime, or not, well, yeah, Metroid Prime 4, but also Metroid 5. Like, holy crap. We haven't gotten a mainline Metroid game since Fusion.
Let's glue down the
Prime
Commissar.
games. We've gotten Prime games since Fusion. And we got Federation Force, but we never got, like, a new entry into, like, we never had a game set after Fusion. Also, if we're going to talk about really interesting biological threats, can we also mention how scary the mitochondria are in Parasite Eve?
Don't know them.
Oh, Parasite Eve is definitely worth reading and playing.
What, it started as a book?
Yes, it was originally a book. It was set in Tokyo, and the game for the PlayStation 1 is a sequel to the novel. So, in the aftermath of Parasite Eve, the book, essentially 2 girls get implanted accidentally with DNA, like mitochondrial DNA, from the first book. One of them gets it from an organ transplant, and she was taking immunosuppressants to prevent rejection, and so her immune system was not able to fight off the mitochondria inside of her that were trying to take over her body, and she ended up becoming this horrible monster. Basically, imagine all the mitochondria in your cells decided to pop their way out of your cells and become their own independent organism. That's what these are. If you get infected, all the mitochondria in your body get taken over, and you mutate into horrible monsters. It's got some real, like, John Carpenter The Thing energy to it. That.
That's one based.
Yeah, well, serious, if you haven't read or played Parasite Eve, I do highly recommend the series. Parasite Eve 2 is a little weird. because it's more of an action game. The novel was like a science fiction with some horror elements to it. The first game, PS1, was... I know exactly
You
what
saw.
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to hide his name. We know you're talking about Spacey, probably.
I haven't actually played or seen Third Birthday. I have played the first 2 Parasite Eve games, though. I need to read the novel. I have really been putting that off. But I should, because it is the first entry in the story.
I was starting to read Eisenhorn for 40k, but I stopped. I shouldn't have stopped.
I mean, he's awesome with horror games, but so is Laughin', even though, I mean, he doesn't enjoy playing them all the time. He did kind of have to push out of being shoved into that niche. Oh god. Do you mind if I talk about Laughin' a moment? Positively?
It's okay.
I feel really sorry for him, because he recently got his Twitter and his Discord hacked, and they were saying some really like nasty shit on his accounts.
What kind of fuckwad would want to be so mean to him?
Yeah, Laughin' is the biggest sweetie.
Laughin's adorable. I'm pretty sure people immediately recognize that he wouldn't do that.
Exactly. Laughin's a big sweetheart, and honestly, he realizes that Terminator 2 is in fact the best action movie of all time. Fight me. So, I mean, he's awesome.
Fucking dork.
Dude, Laughin' and I do sometimes talk, but when we do, it inevitably comes back to Terminator 2 is awesome. Because it is. That movie is awesome.
I'm gonna just wait a bit long. I'm gonna have to wait longer for those things to dry their heads a bit, I think.
Fun fact, did you know that they didn't have permission to film in most of the locations for Terminator 1?
Really?
Yeah, they filmed illegally for like a ton of the scenes.
Wow. And they didn't get sued for it later?
Not that I know of. Also, James Cameron did kind of splash acid on Arnold Schwarzenegger during the filming. Arnie was fine. But for one of the scenes, they had to do that.
Fake acid?
No, real.
Why'd they do real acid?
Because it would, like, make a little smoky effect on his clothes or something like that. But, yeah, that was a thing.
Well, couldn't they use a special, like a cosmetic to isolate it from the skin on his face?
Here's the thing. Terminator 1 was made on a shoestring budget. Why do you think they filmed illegally? They couldn't afford permits to film in the places they did. So they filmed illegally.
Also, guys, so soon enough, I'm planning on picking up an airbrush. I already have the one picked out that I want, but I'm just waiting to make sure I have funds because I'm not buying it with a credit card. No. I'm not being a bad burb. Not anymore. Well, not a bad burb in that way. But, needless to say, I'll be able to go ahead and prime these things with a lot better, or should I say, smoother. Doesn't a primer go on better with an airbrush usually?
Yeah, definitely. You don't leave brush marks when you an airbrush.
Well, it's probably better than a rattle can too. More consistent.
You get a smoother finish. It's better for zenithal highlighting. If you want a zenithal highlight, though, I recommend picking up some white ink.
Some white primer?
No, white ink.
White ink. Got a particular brand in mind?
Smoothest. I don't know. I don't really play with inks as much. I only play more with contrast paints through my airbrush.
Let's go ahead and snip some of this up.
But yeah, pure white ink is generally the best thing for zenithal highlighting.
Ah!
So... yeah. Fun fact, I have been to a location in Mexico where a large number of the scenes in Predator were filmed.
You think I should put one of these canteen things on each of them? I think I should.
Yeah, I think so. They need to look rank and file because they are, you know, Imperial Guard. They're given a lot less individuality.
Well, the thing I was going with for them is basically this is a rogue trader's army for the theme for what I'm building and everything. Hence why there tends to be thematic colors that kind of match for most of the things included in it. By the way, does anyone know how many of the radio guys you put per 10 or 5 units?
Per 10, you can only have one Boxcaster, if I remember correctly.
So I only need to do one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trim off the Boxcaster. Go.
Small gripe here, though.
What?
Why have they still not given us Trader Guard as an arc?
Does people just go ahead and do it themselves?
I just kind of wish that they give us a Trader Guard Codex. I think the top armies that I want are Trader Guard, Dark Mechanicus.
Or at least separate rules?
Yeah. No, I'd want separate kits.
You want
So
you want more sculpts to paint.
I just feel like these are armies that are conspicuously missing. So Trader Guard, Dark Mechanicus. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be controversial because they haven't added a new faction since like the early 2000s, but I kind of feel like we need a new faction.
And what would you do if they did something crazy like revival of squats and just throwing them in as Space Dwarves?
I'd be very happy.
And just tie them heavily with like Mechanicus or something like that. But separate. So all these little bits. Oh god. Oh god, they're so tiny. Ah!
They small like a volley.
Oh, like Scramburb.
Pick up the volley and throw like drone.
No yeet.
Yeet the volley.
No yeet.
Yeet the volley.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Well, you can't hodgepodge all the armies together.
Yeah, there's no rules that would really work for that.
Now, it'd be cool if they added an additional rogue trader clause that allowed you to do things like have an orc freebooter join in and things like that.
That'd be better. That'd be better for Kill Team, to be honest.
They did did some heavy changes to Kill Team recently too, though.
I have no idea what the big changes are. I just keep getting told there's big changes, and I'm like, I didn't even know.
It's not 40k light anymore.
And like, what do you mean?
They're basically doing new rules for buy the weapon and things like that.
Ah.
There we go. Yeah, your guys are really right. They really would fit better in Kill Team, honestly. Believe it or not, I have not actually picked up a codex or the 40k rules yet. I've mostly just been having fun building things. There we go. People who are done with their faction shenanigans. Huh. If I were to do Tau, I'd probably choose Farsight. I'm not really keen on Ethereals.
Just embrace the heart of what the Imperium truly is and play Minotaur.
Become Asshole Incarnate!
I'd argue that the Minotaurs kind of embody everything about 40k. They're so over the fucking top. All they care about is fighting, and they're assholes. I am not playing the good guys when I play the Minotaurs.
You're playing some asshole who's looking for a good scrape.
Minotaurs are like orcs, but intentionally dickish as opposed to just trying to have fun.
It's like, oi! Hold my beer, I'm gonna kick his ass! And if there happens to be another faction in their way to the ones they actually want to fight, they'll kick their ass too. Basically, they want to challenge themselves, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, they basically just want to see if there's anything and the answer is yes, there is. They're called Custodes.
And even then, they ended up killing one.
Asterian Moloch. Asterian Moloch. Literally fucking decapitated a Custodes, making it the first Custodes to die in a really fucking long time. And Gilly Billy shat himself and was like, please stop fighting, we'll give you the Primaris upgrade. and the Minotaurs, being power-hungry assholes, agreed. And now there are Primaris Minotaurs. Which is even scarier when you consider that the Minotaurs over-upgraded themselves, gave themselves more gene seed than they're supposed to, and had more equipment and men than they're supposed to. We're already overpowered.
Basically, if you survive the brutal mauling, they try to induct you. There's no try, they just do it.
Asterion Moloch was basically a mini Primarch at that point. Like, of course he couldn't have beaten any of the Primarchs in their prime, but he was, like, the closest a Space Marine could ever get to being a Primarch.
Aren't they a successor chapter, or who was their Primarch?
Oh, they are most likely a fusion between Angron and... let me check.
It's like, go find something else to attack. Here! Chaos is in this area. Go say hi.
Perturbo. So it was most likely a mix of Angron and Perturbo that birthed them into existence. So they're basically half world eater. So, you know, angry corn marines. And half iron warriors. Meaning obsessed with arming themselves with the best technology possible.
So you have the angriest gear hounds you'd ever have.
They're obsessed with their own combat ability, and they're obsessed with having the most powerful weapons possible.
Well, no one can say one of them's unprepared.
They steal marines and equipment from other chapters. They will fight another chapter and then steal all the dreadnoughts that they can. And then induct their members, and if their members can complete the Minotaur's upgrade, they get a bunch of Minotaur's combat training literally downloaded into their brain.
Like, here, the upgrade only takes this long!
Lysiris, I'm pretty sure the Black Templars are afraid of the Minotaurs. I'm just gonna say it.
I think most groups shit themselves.
There's a reason you don't hear much about the Minotaurs, Lysiris, and it is literally... they are an I win button in 40k, which makes them a terrible plot element in any 40k story.
Now, a good story would be the time they get their asses handed to them.
Yeah, that'd be a cool story to see the Minotaurs lose.
And then they go like, the trump card lost!
Lysiris, I'm pretty sure that the only thing that you could consider to be a Space Marine chapter that could stand up to the Minotaurs are Grey Knights.
Other than that, you'd have to get the Custodes involved.
Yeah.
And they're kind of busy.
Like, Minotaurs have more Marines than the legions of the 31st millennium. They're too big.
Because they ain't gonna follow the Codex. Fuck no.
The Smurfs were the I win button. I mean, in terms of the way they write the stories, yes, the Smurfs are an I win button. But in terms of, like, logically, there's not a whole lot of ways that they could lose.
Ultra Smurfs would lose.
Like, logically speaking, the Minotaurs would win against the Smurfs. No questioning. Their legion is a legion, and the Ultramarines are a chapter. It is not fair to call the Minotaurs a chapter. They are heretical as fuck. The Inquisition uses them. The High Lords of Terra, or the Holy Lords of Terra, use them because they are afraid of what they'll do if they're born.
You do not leave these fuckers bored.
Like, I'm pretty sure that the church, like the ecclesiarchy, the High Lords of Terra, and the Inquisition, send the Minotaurs intel on where heretics might be, specifically heretical space marines.
Because
then they themselves don't have to lift a finger to deal with them. They can just let the Minotaurs go and slaughter them, and B, it keeps the Minotaurs occupied.
there are just some things you must keep active and working at all times, because boredom is the last thing you want with those guys. They're space Spartans.
I don't remember what Rowboat has done since he's come back, other than giving Minotaurs the Primaris upgrade, which is probably a bad idea.
Well, honestly, what else was going to get them to fuck off?
Honestly, if there was another Black Crusade, the Minotaurs would be the thing that would save the Imperium.
The Minotaurs would volunteer to be no, they would not volunteer. They would insist to be the vanguard.
They were like, wait. You're telling us that untamed hordes of enemy space marines are gonna come fight us? Fuck, we're just gonna sit here and wait for them to show up and then kick their little dicks in. Like, come on.
They go like, wait, you mean they're gonna come to me? I don't have to go looking? Pass the booze, we're waiting.
Like, consider the following. The traitor Marines, the traitor Legions, the only thing that was limiting them against the Imperium was how well equipped they were. If you notice, Chaos Space Marines
Are outdated.
Tend to have lower point values than regular Marines. They also, in the lore, tend to be a lot more plentiful. And that's because they aren't as stringent about who can become a Corrupted Astartes. Or Chaos Astartes. They are... how do you put this? They aren't bound by the Codex.
After all, they are what the Codex was meant to stop.
Like, the Death Guard. If the Death Guard are gonna go out, the Death Guard are gonna number more than a chapter of Space Marines. So how is a chapter of how are Space Marines able to fight off Chaos Space Marines? They're better equipped. The Imperium has better resources.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Then you take the Minotaurs, who are armed with the best weapons in the Imperium, including the fact that they use Custodes weapons.
When they can get their hands on them.
And then consider that they are bigger than any of the legions during the Great Crusade. Yeah, the Minotaurs are the ideal to fight off a Black Crusade. Also, why not send the Minotaurs against the Chaos Guard? We have to remember that if Khorne could insert his pinky finger into the universe, all life would end and fucking galaxy would explode. Okay?
Another reason why Khorne wouldn't do it, because that means no more energy coming to him.
Basically, the Chaos Gods
Be right back.
Unbeatable.
But they also end...
Yeah. Also, it's implied that they physically can't enter. Like, serious, like... You can't destroy a concept, is the issue. The Minotaurs are an I win button against the other factions of 4K. But you can't destroy a concept. the only way you could defeat Khorne would be to remove all anger, will to fight, animosity, loyalty, and friendship from the entirety of all sentient beings in the entire universe.
It would be better to have world peace and then have friendship and honor reign, and then you'd basically convert Khorne into a good god.
Like, the Chaos Gods aren't all bad. They have aspects that are good. Did you know that there is a Chaos God that embodies the greater good of the Tau? And it's implied that it is actually an aspect of Tzeentch?
Because here's the thing. Gods are reflections of the mortals of the galaxy. Ultimately.
Exactly. And they aren't bound to a corporeal form or a singular existence the way that people in the universe are. So, when we talk about Khorne, we're talking about a singular aspect of a being that embodies more than just war and anger and hatred. Khorne embodies loyalty, friendship, and honor as well. You just don't see those aspects of him as much because
the universe of 40K sucks.
The universe of 40K sucks. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
So there is only blood for the blood god.
Who's more of a Smurf, the Tau or the Ultramarines? Ultramarines, definitely.
Are you kidding? Ultramarines are fucking blueberries. They are.
Tau are just communist fish. Fight me.
Communist fish.
You know, it's funny that people call them fish. They come from a fucking desert planet.
Which they can now terraform with it. Right? I'm getting ice cream. That's why I'm taking a moment.
Not the entirety of their planet is desert. I'm pretty sure it's also got jungles on it. And that's where the water caste are from. But a majority of their planet is arid. They are definitely not fish people. The earth caste and the fire caste being the largest castes. And I'm pretty sure also the air caste all come from arid, deserty regions. So they are definitely not fish. Communist fish. Every faction in 40K is some form of political ideology dialed up to 11. 40K exists as a parody of extremism, of any form. The Imperium is the extreme of theocracy. The Tau are the extreme of communism. The rogue traders are the extreme of capitalism. See where I'm going with this? Like, chaos is just anarchism. Same with orcs, are just anarchism. The Necrons are the result of dictatorship. You could also argue that Drakari are the result. Unfettered anarchism. The Tyranids are the exception to what I just said, because the Tyranids are a force to be reckoned with. They are a force of nature more than anything. They have intelligence, but they were designed to... The Tyranids are more like an infection. They're more like a virus. They don't... They just are. They don't really run on a political ideology, but any of the, like, sentient, like, independently sentient races in 40K, or factions in 40K, embody some kind of extremism.
Find yourself nodding along with some of it, you might want to check yourself.
Oh yeah, it's why people in the hobby who think that the Emperor was this amazing guy and all of his ideas were correct, I'm like, you know that this was meant to be a parody, right? The Emperor is a sad case. I think that he had good intentions. I do believe that he was falling to chaos.
Emperor is a classic case of good intentions do not mean for a good outcome.
He used utilitarian ethics. He had an end goal that was just and good, but he was too utilitarian with ethics.
Machiavellian. Ends justify the means.
A lot of what the Empire is happened after he, quote unquote, died.
Now,
No, the Emperor is no saint.
No.
in the world of 40k, they needed the Emperor to survive. Humanity would have gone extinct without his extreme viewpoint, because everybody else in 40k are extreme fascists of some, or extreme anarchists of some, that will kill you. Like, even Craftworld Eldar have their own problems.
Yeah, they do.
I'd say out of any of the factions that pose the least danger to the Imperium, or generally people in the Imperium, I would say Craftworld Eldar. Probably followed by Yanari.
They've even worked with the Eldar.
But then there are plenty of Drukhari who are very unstable and dangerous.
Oh, they're
like
batshit
Harlequins.
insane.
It's not that all Dark Eldar are bad, but many of them are like cruel space pirates who will fucking eat you alive. Yeah, some of the Drukhari are cannibals, if I remember correctly. They're into vor.
Oh, you fucking dork.
So, like, the Emperor's extreme positions were utilitarian because he lived in a world where you need to be like that to survive.
Hey, T-Foxer, there's a snack.
Gosh.
2 snacks. Bots.
So, basically, the Emperor needed to be extreme to help humanity to survive, but there was a certain point when he had essentially got them restarted, and he kept going, and he didn't know when to stop. I do honestly believe that the intention, like the writing intention for the Emperor's character arc is
Emperor, I'm in a
that
different
after his
conversation
sons
than
were
you.
stolen from him by the gods of chaos, that started corrupting him. I don't actually believe that the Emperor was completely devoid of chaos. I think that if you take the stance of
Well,
the Chaos Gods were trying to slowly whittle at his sanity, and that's what broke him, and why he's locked, well, why a fragment of him is locked in the Golden Throne. I think it makes a lot more sense that the Chaos Gods were basically trying to erode his sanity. And I think that drove him down a dark path where things more than he needed to.
arguably, if he treated the Primarchs more like actual sons rather than bulls, that might not have happened near as much.
He didn't trust them enough.
There's the problem.
I think he did value them. I think that he simply was too afraid of losing them again. And his own fear of losing them is the reason he...
Self-defeating. Alright, let's continue. That was good snap. I just realized I'm having Christmas music playing again. God damn it. First, nobody says a word about it.
Not Christmas, it's Sinesta.
Bad Ember. No cookie. No. No, you won't. That's not a holiday.
Halloween is gay Christmas. Fight me.
Halloween is gay Christmas. What? How?
Halloween is gay
Cool,
Christmas. Fight
How
me.
is it gay Christmas?
Fuck you. Fuck you!
You got a fuck you from Ember, apparently. I don't understand your reasoning.
Ember always says fuck you, but he never does. So.
Oh yeah, you're right about that.
I'm not kidding though. Halloween is gay Christmas.
But what are your grounds for that statement?
Okay, so Christmas is about playfulness and being around people you care about, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a joyous time of year where people get away from their regular stress in order to just have fun together.
And then they get social stress instead.
Well, I mean, the intention of Christmas, not the actual, like, what commercialized Christmas has caused. But the idea of Christmas is it's supposed to be a leisure holiday where you just have fun, you know? Like, the point of Christmas is fun. And having that fun with people you care about. For a lot of people in the LGBT community, they can't have that Christmas with their families. Generally because of tensions in their family. Halloween has a lot less of a religious connotation to it. Yes, it is All Hallows Eve,
Yes.
but modern Halloween is not meant to be a sacred holiday. It's not. Nobody goes, you ruined Halloween if you do something. You know? Like, Christmas is treated like it's sacred, even by people who aren't religious.
Nah, it isn't.
So, Halloween is really the funnest, freest for a lot of people. And they get to spend it with their found families. For a lot of people, Halloween is gay Christmas. It fills the purpose that Christmas is supposed to be
Oh,
in a
speaking
person's life.
yeah. Speaking of family though, I have something important to share. You know that old phrase, blood is thicker than water? The actual old phrase for it is the blood of the oath is thicker than the water of the womb. Meaning that your found family and those you choose to treat with are ultimately more important than who you're genetically related to. Sometimes they're one and the same. But for many of us, especially the LGBT community, that's not always the case. So anytime someone throws that at you, they can kiss your ass if that's not really the case for you. I think that they've just been trying to use that old phrase to try to browbeat people who don't want as much association with their blood relatives.
You know what the funniest phrase is, though, that gets misused?
What's that?
Getting red-pilled. You know how getting red-pilled means, like, oh, we got rid of the liberal brainwashing and showed you the real truth. You know?
Ah! What, like thinking that water treatment plants make frogs gay?
Like, getting red-pilled is supposed to be like, oh, we're gonna show you the all-right's the way to go, get red-pilled! And it's like, okay, this is a reference to the Matrix. Did you know that the red pill and blue pill in the Matrix are an allegory for a sex change?
Is that actually the case?
It's an allegory, for HRT, and
Okay. Okay, so you're going to have to explain this one. You can't just leave it there.
okay, the guy who wrote The Matrix is not a guy. The lady who wrote The Matrix is trans. The red pill is estrogen. Taking the red pill is supposed to be accepting that you are not the gender you were raised to believe you are.
Just generally accepting that something that you currently hold that was held as true before really isn't.
So, the point of the red pill was always supposed to be a trans allegory. The writer has confirmed this, and it wasn't like a Dumbledore's gay type situation. This was baked into the plot from the beginning. The Matrix is an allegory for being trans. Like, you can Google this. It's absolute.
I bet that made a lot of people scree.
Yeah, Lily Wachowski confirmed the long-standing rumors that the trilogy of films that she made with her sister Lana were in trans allegories.
Oh wait, are they both?
Until recently.
Are they both trans?
I'm not sure.
Because originally
Lily Wachowski
they
has absolutely confirmed that yes, the Matrix is a trans metaphor.
Because I thought it was only one of them that was trans.
I think it was only one of them, is Lily Wachowski. But yes, it is absolutely a trans allegory.
So it is the Wachowski siblings now.
Yes. The Wachowski sisters.
I thought it was brothers to start with. So
It's Lily and Lana Wachowski, I believe.
so they
Let me
both
look.
transitioned then, if you're saying that.
But yeah, they both absolutely full fucking admitted it's a trans allegory. It was steeped in trans metaphors from the and that's why it's a red pill versus a blue pill. Because red and blue are gendered colors. Though to be fair, if it were to be a little more accurate, it should have been a blue syringe or a red pill, because most trans women get their HRT via pills, and most trans men get it via syringe, like injection.
Well, the idea is you're presented with a choice. You can make that choice for yourself.
You can stay the way that you are and continue to live in your little bubble, or you can find out the real truth about yourself.
Dare to be you!
So you could say last October I got red pilled. Yeah, I think it's really awesome. Yeah, listeners, you did talk about that before. Yeah, Andy Wachowski is now Lily Wachowski, and Larry, formerly Larry, is now Lana.
So they are both.
Yes, they're Lana and Lily Wachowski.
What are the odds of that? That's interesting.
Yep, they're now the Wachowski sisters.
I forgot. Were they twins or no?
No, they were born 2 years apart. Lana was born in 1965, and Lily was born in 1967.
Because what are the odds of having two siblings both being trans? Because those are some odds there, aren't they?
So, The Matrix has two heavy themes to it. It's about trans identities, and it's about late-stage capitalism.
Maybe self-determination, too, on one's body and everything else.
Yep, absolutely. So it's really funny to people who are like in the alt-right who talk and like use all these Matrix metaphors, like Matrix references, to talk about becoming right-wing, and it's like you do not know what it is you're talking about.
And then you show it to them and they get angry. Is that it?
Yeah, it's like the age-old problem of everything I don't like is 1984.
Well, here's the thing. Those kinds of opinions are kind of the minority opinion these days.
I got told I'm not allowed to yell at people at the library. What is this, 1984? I thought this is America.
Because, yeah, if you look at it, anti-gay and a lot of other similar views that tend to go hand in hand with those viewpoints are actually minority viewpoints nowadays.
I'd really, really love to, once I have my own little house of Alphabet Mafia people, I want to have a Matrix like viewing marathon of the 3 movies. Don't you think that'd be fun?
It'd be interesting. It's
You
a
know, do it for Gay
shake-wa!
Christmas. Let's watch the Matrix for Gay Christmas.
Would be interesting.
Gently shake the wad like hamburger.
You shake your hamburger?
Yeah, how else are you supposed to get it in your ear?
Why are you putting the hamburger in your ear?
I don't know. I was saying something dumb, and I just figured I'd fucking run with it, you know? Oh god, I'm starting to get withdrawal. Rubik's Cube. But first I have to unsolve it. Okay, time to solve. I kind of wish this thing cut corners better.
Much more better.
I wish it was much better at what it is. Spot there. Oh god, this is being a really easy solve. I should have maybe scrambled a bit more. But
Mhm. Eh! Almost lost the grenade. Another Christmas song? God damn it.
well, that's solved it. So, Laura Organs,
Yes.
what do you want to do for Gay Christmas this year?
I was actually pondering picking up Bendy and the Ink Machine and streaming it or something.
Cool.
Because I heard it's actually pretty good. Totally had nothing to do with the Stupendium song. Stupendium is amazing, by the way. Highly recommend pretty much all of their work. He made a song for a spoof of OnlyFans called Only Cans.
So, Lorgans, when are we gonna get to that 500 subscriber milestone? You install Bonzi Buddy on your computer.
Do I look like an idiot?
You want Bonzi Buddy?
No.
Why not?
Stupid. Okay, so I'm gonna have those to egg on to them later. And then they're gonna get based. Oh no, did one of them lose their head? No, they didn't. Okay. That's just the spare heads. So, this is all the parts we gotta put together.
I dare you to melt them and add milk and see if you can make Imperial Guard like hot chocolate.
I'm not ruining these.
Pour in hot milk or I'm literally going to...
No, that's something you
destroy the
only
sun.
do with Space Marine.
I don't want blueberry milk.
So that's ready to go for next time. Along with our Commissar.
Make Imperial Guard hot chocolate or I'm going to be actually mad at you for 10 years.
You're gonna be mad at me for 10 years then.
How dare you?
Bite my bum.
Present it.
Yes, presents.
Bites.
Wee, oh no. Bye-bye. Looks like almost all the sprue is melted.
Creating Tammy Affair.
Yeah, I might have to add more sprue though.
Sprue glue.
Sprigly! Alright, let's see who we're raiding, guys. It's been 3 hours and almost 30 minutes. Wow. We've been doing it for a bit, haven't we?
Name of your sex tape.
Really? I do not have an OnlyFans.
I didn't say OnlyFans, it just said name of your sex tape.
Name my sex tape. No.
It's the name of your sex tape, yes.
I don't have a sex tape.
Are you sure?
Like, I have, like, there's dirty roleplay logs out there probably somewhere, but who cares?
Are you telling me that you're lewd?
I am lewd as fuck. How could you assume otherwise, given the things I
Sorry.
say on stream?
I can't associate with you anymore because I'm not.
Bullshit! I call bullshit! You are lewd as fuck, too.
I, disagree, sir.
Ah, what happened to the main bendy team, Lucerys? Let's see, who's on? Who are we a-raiding today? Any small beans? Let's see. Let's check Hurry Watch. Do you know any small beans who need a visit?
Let me look. Let's find the smallest of beans. Speaking of beans, oh, I'm so excited for that stew.
Huh? For what?
I'm making a stew tomorrow. Rye Husky has 7 people playing Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Typhon, Typhon Bloom is playing Fallout 4 again.
Well, I've raided him before. Let's see here.
Oh, I think he's ending.
Really? He's only been doing it for 7 minutes. 8 minutes.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I guess he's just starting then.
Hey,
I
Tyler.
always just see people doing a screen like that, and I'm like, oh, they're probably ending.
You caught us just as we're about to go ahead and raid out, hun. How you doing?
Hi, Tyler.
So, basically, if you want to see when we go live, we've got our Twitter here. We also have the Discord, which is our currently the community thing. And if, for some reason, you feel like trying it, we also have the gilded version of the Vulpine Garden available for people to poke at if they want to see what that's about. It's not really the main thing currently. Discord still is. But if you want to see what it do, you can go ahead and check it out here as well. Hey, Pan, how you doing?
Can I suggest a raid message?
What would you like to suggest the raid of? Better hurry. Alright, we'll do that. We're gonna go with Show Us Your Beans. Alright, we are raiding. And hi, Pan, how you doing? You're catching us just as we're ending. But I hope I can see you again next time. You're all lovely. Thanks for coming. Give Rye Husky your best and have a lovely day. Doodles!
you put a rate of 6. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you playing?